GM, it's a little slight delay there. I need to fix that maybe. GM, everyone. Craig, mate, how are ya? Good to see you this morning. I was gonna say fine, but it's definitely not fine. We're in for some. I mean, maybe down the Gold Coast it's fine, but up here a little bit further north, it is torrential rain inbound the next 2 days because there's a cyclone or a really a big low or something north of us. So it is not a fine morning here in Australia, at least on my side. Craig, mate, how are you? Market is pretty steady. We haven't seen much happen over the weekend. We've got lots of news to chat about today. But mate, how are you doing today?
Yeah, g'day Greenie, g'day everyone, g'day mates out there. Welcome. What's it, Sunday in America? So happy Sunday night to you guys. Happy Monday morning to New Zealand, Australia, and everyone else this end of the world. Yeah, man. No, good to be here. Good to be on the show. Just checked up a few news articles before. Bit of news coming out, so that's kind of nice. Good news for crypto, and then Bitcoin's just doing absolutely nothing. So pretty boring on that front. It's hardly got a pulse, but no, I'm good, man. How are you? How's your weekend?
Good, mate. Good. I mean, I worked the whole week. I sat in this chair like literally all Saturday or Sunday. Like I'm cleaning up GTG, trying to build that out a bit better, trying to make that more of like an education process and then the community rather than community with education inside. That like try and make the beginner journey a little bit easier. And then obviously a lot of content side around this market mates and whatnot as well. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the intro, enjoyed the new branding. We did thumbnails for the first time as well. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're on X as well, make sure you go follow us. Market Mates is MKT Mates. That's the username across all platforms. But yeah, so I spent all day, and then I actually did some live scalp trading. Yes, on Saturday afternoon too. So trying to get some more. I mean, YouTube's dude, I'm in an absolute. I must be like actually shadow banned on YouTube, or my content just sucks at the moment because my long form videos right now are not doing well at all. I released a Bitcoin one. It got 57 views. I released a Memecoin trade that I got wrong. It's at 87. So I'm in YouTube jail right now. So I need to get back out of YouTube jail and really dive into how I can improve again on that platform. So yeah, anyways, it starts with live shows like this where the branding's a lot better, where we have a really good intro, where we have some topics to discuss that are trending news. So don't forget, guys, Market Mates, you can follow us on all socials, please. If you're watching on Kick, smash the follow button, guys, and obviously subscribe. It really does help us go a long way and supports the channel. And yeah, you can trust us for some market updates, some news, some price action, and everything across the crypto space. But obviously, before we start, massive shout out to our two partners. Yeet will be giving away some cash later in the week, maybe today. You never know. Could be a giveaway show today. I'll check the leaderboard very shortly. Also, massive shout out to OKX. They're our partners as well. Massive shout out to them for hosting us in Sydney a few months back, but hopefully we can do some more IRL events as well. You can sign up for both Yeet down below, 40% community airdrop, and you can sign up for OKX as well. Trusted exchange in the world, the safest exchange in the world. And honestly, that's where I've been buying some Bitcoin and stuff longer term. But Craig, we'll go straight into the news today. So the first big news overnight is, oh my gosh, it just clicked off it. Is that X actually wants to partner with Solana. So Solana says it will soon be built directly into X. Now that is fascinating because we've also got another news article about X's integration of price actually and contract addresses, which we'll talk about shortly as well. But this comes after X announced live in-app crypto price tracking. What are your thoughts on this, Craig? I mean, Elon, when he took it over, he wanted X to become the everything app. Arguably, this is very much becoming the everything app. Nikita, which we will talk about, is controversially misaligning maybe with what Elon is after, in my opinion. And he's got a bit of a personal vendetta against CT for some reason, which again is another news topic we'll get to shortly. But this is real world adoption happening in real time with arguably one of the most popular social media apps where creators like Craig and I and many out there across the world can earn money with ad revenue every single fortnight. This is pretty bullish, Craig. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. When I woke up this morning, I jumped on looking for news, and this is one of the first articles I saw, and I was like, that's phenomenal. I reckon that's amazing. I guess just as far as removing friction for people, people, if they see a ticker, for example, if they're going to integrate that, actually, let's talk about the Sol more. What specifically, why Solana? Like, what do they mean? Like, is it the ability to just bring up contracts on Solana, or is it Solana actually itself is getting integrated, or?
Yeah, it's very there's no like specific reasoning just yet, but it is being like there is that partnership there. So I don't know if it is in alignment, but like not every, like as you can see here, this is like Base, for example. Base isn't on Solana. So how is Solana, like, is that going to be payments? Like, is that going to be the blockchain itself where you can actually transact on X eventually? Like, remember conversations maybe even a year ago where it was very much like X will become a banking app. Like, is it to go down the banking side as well? Is it to go down the security side of blockchain technology rather than APIs? Who knows, Craig? Like, not much is out there. But I mean, the other side of the story is that X is rolling out smart cash tags. So letting you track assets with live prices and mentions. If you have noticed on your X app, anytime you do write a ticker, it will show you the active price currently. Obviously, that was a work in progress. They have obviously said that their goal is to make it exactly the right, at least in crypto, contract address, or for example, a stock, it's the right actual stock that it's tracking. Because I have seen a few times where you'll put a ticker in or you'll read about it, and the ticker won't align to the actual ticker that is the highest market cap or the right token or the right stock, right? So this is, again, like another step in the progress towards X becoming the everything app. Craig, is being a creator on X the best upside, literally, even in crypto, but outside of crypto over the next coming years?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just this news alone is pretty massive. The ability to obviously to shill something and then people not have to leave the app. Like, obviously what we normally do is we copy and paste the CA or the ticker, try and find it. The issue is trying to find the right one these days as well. Yeah. Long gone are the days where someone put a ticker out, it's the only one of that sort. Now there's probably 50 of that name, so it gets probably a bit confusing for people. Yeah. And just removing friction. If they create the ability to trade as well in app, man, yeah,
that's gonna be huge.
Epic. And I know Elon wanted to create a bank per se, or use X as you could actually have it as your bank account to buy and sell things. I guess this is just one step forward towards that, which is pretty phenomenal, dude. So now, after Nikita came out and said some pretty, whether he's trolling or not, I don't know, but after that was announced, and then his comments came out over the weekend, and then this came out, I was like, pretty different. But I mean, he's an advisor for Sol, isn't he?
Yeah.
So it makes quite a lot of sense, I suppose, that Solana's the chosen platform.
Yeah, and arguably it's probably the best, right? It's fast, it's cheap, it's easy to use. The amount of onboarding that has really come through MoonPay, through Phantom, it makes it so accessible to every, like, I would argue, moving forward, more people will have a Phantom wallet or a MoonPay app compared to centralized exchange apps on their phone, Craig.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I reckon that's probably a good call.
Now, yeah. No, you go.
Yeah, I was going to say, no, I agree. I completely agree. And even, you're going to see things or platforms like Abstract, which is like a one-click wallet creation. You'll just see stuff like that where you probably don't even get given your keys. Yeah. Or you can choose not to, for the average punter. Yeah. So I guess this is a great announcement, dude. I reckon this is humongous. Great for Solana potentially, brings more eyes to Solana. And I think, like you said, they've picked the right chain, because you never know with Elon, he could have gone Doge or something, right? Yeah, I'm sort of waiting for that to get rolled out within that. But huge for Solana, huge for X, huge for creators like you and me in the space as well, because that'll just not force people, but encourage people that if they want to trade crypto, they can come to X, which is great. So rather than sending someone to, I don't know, another platform, you can actually just say, come find me on X. I'm posting the ticker. You can buy it from my comment. Like
these apps like FOMO and like the other one that Eli uses, like I can't remember what it's called, Loot, is it, I think, or something. Right. Like I think that will eventually be embedded into X. So in other words, you will be able to live trade through X in some capacity, in my opinion. I think it'll be linked in some way. You really obviously have to think about the security risks and obviously, as you just said, like the pass phrases and all that sort of stuff. But man, it's an exciting time to be a creator on X. And I think anybody who has thought about creating on X, you should probably get started and start creating a brand on X, because I think it is going to be the best upside in a range of different ways in the coming years.
Agreed. And so much so much bigger potential, I think, than YouTube. Because obviously with YouTube, one of the things I find quite limiting is you can create videos, but you can't really engage with your audience. Not really. Like there's a lot of bots on there. I mean, there is on X as well. YouTube, man, all my comments are bots. The only comments are bots.
Yeah.
So YouTube's pretty diabolical like that. And you just can't, it's hard to foster a community. I guess I could create a members only page like you've done and stuff like that. That's kind of a step in the right direction there. But X is just so much more. Like the potential for X, I put it this way, man, I'm so glad and so thankful you and I went ham the last 2 years, building a brand, building our brands now with Market Mates, and we sort of doubled down on that this year. Seeing articles like this come out just makes me go, thank God you and I went quite hard on X versus some of the others.
What do you like? The algo's always going to be changing. I think that's a conversation for another time. But everyone like Zeneca, for example, Choose Rich, Nick, some of the biggest creators, Whale.swoosh, some of the biggest creators out there. What makes X their favorite platform is that it's not saturated by videos, by streams, by clips, right? It's a balance, and this is where the conversation is going to head. Hopefully it doesn't go to more Instagram style or YouTube style where it is video content. Like X is all about writing, and if you're not a good writer, then you're going to struggle to build. But if you're a good video creator, you're a good streamer, and you're a good writer, that's the secret to success on X. And I really like X because you can write. As you say, you can connect with your community. You can engage directly with people in DMs, and you can create communities on X. Eventually, we'll hopefully create a Market Mates community on X once we gain a bit more of attraction and more followers and stuff. So yeah, look, I agree. I think X is arguably the best opportunity, crypto and outside of crypto right now, for creators. I think a lot of people will only catch on to this once it's too late, in my opinion.
Agreed. And also there was that comment that came out last week, Elon put out, and that about increasing the rewards for creators as well. So yeah. I saw a slight bump. I think you saw a bump as well. Did you get a double?
Yeah, mine double, but I have a range of different sort of I put a Becca tweet up the other day that did 120K views. So mine fluctuates quite periodically depending on the content and what I'm putting out as well, and how well it does. So historically I was getting consistently 2 to 2 million impressions a fortnight, every 2 weeks. Which usually pay me out low 300s, I think, but it did go down significantly over the past couple of months. Yeah. So anyways, to build on Nikita. So Nikita, as we said before, is basically here, head of product at X, advisor for Solana, venture partner, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, he came out and put out a pretty controversial tweet, which I've got up shortly, but Dupe really classifies it very well here. Create a controversial tweet, rage bait all of crypto Twitter with unclear algo insight, delete said rage bait, announce crypto-specific feature coming to X. What a masterclass in marketing. Here is that tweet that he posted about and consequently deleted after. But basically, in October, a new myth started circulating CT that you need to reply hundreds of times per day to grow an account. However, each time you post, it uses some of your reach for that day. We can't show you all the posts to all your followers because the average user only views 20 to 30 posts per day. So CT ends up wasting all their reach on replying GM hundreds of times. And when they finally post real content, like a project, what do you call it? Like a project, I've lost it. When it posts real content like a project announcement, it only gets shown to 3 people. So it's dying from suicide, not from the algo. So interesting, Greg. Very interesting in my opinion. Very interesting.
I mean, I think, I kind of feel surely he must have been trolling with this.
I think so, yeah.
The fact that he says you wear out your engagement is strange, because obviously if they want people using the app, you want people writing furiously. It just goes against trying to grow something. But so I think he might have been trolling, but I mean, I ran with it, you ran with it, you said it, I'm going to run with it.
Easy ran with it to the point that he went super vile and created a vibe coding platform that is completely rubbish. And if you don't know that it's rubbish, you're an idiot. But I tweeted, of course you're going to tweet on it. It's the trending topic. So I tweeted on it. Then I went away and literally came back like 10 minutes later and refreshed the page, and I was up like 60%. So I said, I just charged my X and now I'm back. Yeah, gotta love it. Gotta love the silly posts out there. But on to more serious topics, there's a few other topics we're going to talk about. So over the weekend and over the past couple of days, Bitmine tops another 108 million staked Ethereum, adding another 86.4K to their stacks. I mean, Craig, whales aren't slowing down on Bitcoin or Ethereum accumulation here. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? That's a massive buy. What are my thoughts? I find it maybe, I don't know if confusing is the word, but interesting time that they're going ham, the whales, on this, and maybe there is potential to upside, but it kind of goes against what the chart's kind of saying. So I'm good on them. Please keep doing these massive buys. But how did the market respond? Did it care? Did Ethereum?
Not really. But if anything, it's just a transfer of wealth from more retail, maybe from OGs into institutions, countries, hedge funds. Like we've been saying this same theme for a long time. But like it's hard to not see a future where Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, Monero more recently, potentially, Link probably. But again, like why would you hold Link? Like with the thing about Ethereum and Solana, you have to hold them to transact on that chain. You don't have to hold Link to, like, you're not transacting on Link. Link is arguably fantastic technology, right, as an oracle across like a range of different ways, but you don't, like, why would you hold the token, right? So it's that real fine balance between, well, I can see a future for like, and XRP is more so the banking and the integration of that, but like, I don't know, it's I think those are definitely going into a stratosphere. Whether price actually reflects the technology advancements and adoption is yet to be seen. I don't know if it will. Maybe Solana, maybe ETH, but they're both kind of inflationary, at least a little bit from time to time. So I don't know. Yeah, what are your thoughts here? Like, wealth is slowly transferring, and it like, I mean, if you asked me about this like 3 years ago, even 2 years ago, even 5 years ago, this would have been like a dream come true. Now that it's happening, I'm not sure I'm as bullish on crypto as the wealth is being transferred to these very high net worth individuals and companies and billion-dollar hedge funds.
It could. I mean, one thing I guess I could say about it is, as these perhaps stronger hands or institutions keep accumulating these coins, you think eventually there'd have to be a pretty big pump on them. Just, if they're holding, say these guys hold huge amounts through the bear, whether they sell it off, I don't know, through there, but if they hold it and then next bull run comes and retail re-enter, it should seem these pretty hard, because theoretically a lot of the supply should be held up in hands that won't maybe pump and dump like retail tend to do, or maybe they do. But I guess what I'm saying is we could see quite big upside in the future. It may not be this bull run, but I think over time, we could see a pretty good run, especially on ETH, with them going after that quite heavily, I guess, with the ETF and all that. But it's certainly bullish, and I think maybe in the future, and Bitcoin people have been speaking about this for quite a long time, or not threatening about it, but calling it, saying institutions, as they continue to buy this, Bitcoin's just going to become unaffordable. For your average people to own one, I mean. So it'll be then denominations of it. It'll be someone owns 0.1, 0.01, 0.001. Eventually 0.001 is probably going to be the same as 1. So, I think that's going to happen over time, whereas people will start to get priced out of some of the bigger ones. Although you can fractionally own, so that kind of defeats that. But I just mean it's going to owning, I guess what I'm saying is one Bitcoin, I think it's going to go really high, man. I think it's going to go really high, and I think one day saying I own one Bitcoin is going to be pretty impressive.
It's going to be a flex. Yeah, exactly. Arguably, it could be worth more than, I mean, housing. That's another whole conversation. But housing in Australia is very fast and probably not really slowing down anytime soon. But the upside, like, I mean, we shared that visual ages ago. I should try and find it, but of a house versus Bitcoin comparison over time, and slowly, yeah, here we go. Here it is. Let me move it up there. Once it wants to load. Classic. Thanks. Massive shout out to Reddit. House priced in Bitcoin. In 2017, you could have had 125 Bitcoins equal one house. In 2022, it's 20. Arguably, it's now what, 3 or 4? Like in Australia, it's maybe a little bit more, maybe like 5 to 10. Maybe in the US, I'm not sure what the US property market's like, but here in Australia, it would be 5 to 10 Bitcoin. This is just exponentially going against housing, and particularly if you're like, if I was still a teacher, my wife was still a teacher, we would struggle to ever get into the housing market. Like we would have to live in shitty suburbs in a shitty city to even afford it all. Like it's like without investing or doing your own business or creating content or trading myself, like there's been like, I would have not achieved what I have achieved today, and I wouldn't be able to afford a house in Australia. And hopefully we'll be able to buy one. But again, it's more about diversifying now that we've reached that sort of level of wealth. It's now, how can we diversify our wealth? Ideally, you get into the housing market, because I don't see it slowing down, at least here in Australia, for a period of time. I'm talking 5-10 years. Maybe in time it will. But I do think you still want to be liquid enough that you can take advantage of Bitcoin, take advantage of on-chain trends, take advantage of AI, some of these stocks as well. Like I would argue a lot of these stocks are probably going to outperform at the S&P 500. So if you can find some of those, or you can get into some of the top ones like Nvidia and Google, who are all building out AI products and whatnot as well. It's hard not to probably focus on being more liquid, but you need somewhere to live, Craig. I'm sick of jumping around, sick of paying $800 a week for rent and not doing anything to this house. Like it is what it is, right? But this is a fascinating story. Is that, I reckon, what are your thoughts on this? Like by what, 2035, so like 9 years away, one Bitcoin equals one house, Craig?
Probably. Yeah, or close enough. The other interesting, probably 2 bull runs, and it's probably definitely going to be one.
Yeah.
Or one. It'd have to be $1 million though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the housing market in Australia. Well, yeah. The other interesting part about this, there's 2 parts. The second part is the ability to use your Bitcoin as collateral for taking a loan. So that's the doubles. There's 2 sides to it, right? One, that Bitcoin's catching up with the housing market in appreciation, but the other thing is you won't have to sell your Bitcoin. You'll be able to hold it, and the banks will lend against it. That is quite powerful. So say you own 10 Bitcoin. Imagine in the future, potentially in a decade, what you might be able to loan against, get it, so you won't have to sell. You'll just loan against. That's powerful, because then you won't have as much sell pressure either. So. Man, I mean, I would say young people watching the show, not a financial advice, but geez, if you want to get in, probably that one of the easier ways is probably owning Bitcoin and just hanging on for dear life.
And eventually, like, because currently it's like, I looked into it a little bit. Like, there's a few companies building it out. That I won't say names because I'm not 100% sure if that's the right companies. But in Australia, there's a few companies, but the interest rate is like 8 to 11%, and you can only borrow like 400 grand, which in Australia you're not going to really buy. You could barely buy an apartment nearly for that price in like capital cities. So, it's not quite where it needs to be, but that again is regulation, and that'll happen as time progresses. But moving on to the next topic, White House confirmed President Trump wants to remove tax on Bitcoin and crypto transactions. Man, what a time to live in America. But like, I mean, you only ever see the good side of America. Like I saw a video the other night, Craig, of someone like driving their bike through, what is it? What's the big issue in America? Fentanyl? No, is it, what? I can't remember what it is, but.
Yeah, fentanyl mostly, yeah.
Yeah. But I saw a video, and it's just like the trash on the side of the unsafetyness of everything there. And the needles, the people that are just like on the side of the road trying to like survive for life. Like it's just like you only see the top. I mean, arguably that probably happens in Australia, but not anywhere to the same extent, because we don't have nearly 400 million people. We only have 28 million people in our country. But it's interesting that you've got that demographic, that side of the world happening, yet you've still got president coming out and saying, yeah, no, let's make the rich even richer, Craig, is arguably what this will do.
Yes, I'm all for it, Greenie. Now that you and me are rich,
But we're not in America, mate. So this doesn't help us at all.
I can't see them removing tax on crypto transactions because he also
No.
made a statement that he wants to move the financial system, which is broken, which I do agree with. So he's saying the right stuff, but the problem with Trump or any politician is they need to say the right stuff, but saying the right stuff and doing the right stuff are two different things.
Yeah.
But Trump obviously spoke about that the current financial system's broken. Crypto is one of the solutions to that, and America wants to be at the forefront of that technology. The problem is if they move the old financial market to the new one, they can't remove tax from the new one. There has to be tax on the new one. Otherwise, where are they going to get there? And I know you could say the tariffs. I just don't think, I don't know if I'm going to be alive in a world where income tax is abolished and it's just tariffs. I can't see it.
Yeah, let's add to that point. Like Trump has a very specific way of going about this. Is any future president going to align in that? Arguably not, right?
Yeah, I don't think so because I think a lot of their sponsors and connections over the years have been big banks. The big donations will be from there.
Yeah,
it comes with consequences, I guess, taking money like that. So, without getting too deep into that, I can't see another president. I think that headline can't be. I just can't believe it. If it happened, I'll be stoked because obviously it pressures. I think they need to tax it though. That's probably what people aren't going to like. Unfortunately, I think if crypto becomes the default payment structure of the new financial system, it's going to need to be taxed because the way the world operates, the way we operate, we need tax. I think tax is too high, and that's another conversation because obviously there's all the money like with Minnesota disappearing. But tax, unfortunately, I think we do need to pay a better tax for things to go around in the world. But so look, I love the headline. I think it's fantastic. I just don't think it's going to happen. But
yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Do you think is there a world where this happens?
In his perfect world, yes, because he's financially a businessman at the end of the day, and his family is very much associated with this. Trump even has a meme coin, right? So you got to remember, like he is insider, arguably very inside of this particular move. It's just, as I said before, I don't think even if it's the same party that comes in, I don't know if they would align on the same business side because they're not financially going to receive benefits from that, right? And also, as you said, like for a country to run properly, tax needs to occur in some department, right? Like if you want roads, you want simple infrastructure, tax, like arguably here in Australia, we pay too much tax and you're sent to a 9 to 5 to basically pay the most tax in this country. Yet idiots in the politics world and the rich get richer here by jumping through tax loopholes with property, right? So it's interesting, like until we see a shift in probably also the generation who run the countries, we're probably not going to see the younger wealth opportunity of crypto really be tax incentivized in the country. Like, and if anything, it might even be the opposite for people who come into power in the future. Is I think people will want to tax it because it's no longer in the government's control, is what I'm kind of trying to say. Like crypto gives me and you, an everyday bloke, an opportunity to make money that isn't really regulated and isn't really taxed yet in the right particular way. Whereas before it was always controlled very measurably by what the government wanted. So yeah, I mean, it's a very, dude, Pricey coming in here with a good comment. Is the new Australian dream to own a BTC instead of a home? Dude, I don't know. I go back to my point before, Craig. Like, I agree with that. The trouble is you need somewhere to live. And arguably, if you've done the mathematics behind renting or obviously buying, like if it fits for you to rent, then that's fine. And like my dad always says, like he's a builder. So he naturally comes from the property world. But he's always like, you're paying rent and you don't own the asset. And I'm like, you're thinking about it too linearly, like in a linear fashion, right?
Mm-hmm.
How I like to think about it is I pay rent, which gives me flexibility to then have more liquidity to make money in other opportunities. And maybe if I can make money in other opportunities, which I've done over the last couple of years, then I can buy a house. And then that way I can still be liquid, still get exposure to the property market. But renting allows flexibility. It's when the renting becomes too much that it puts way too much pressure and then you have that collapse, right? Because if you have no renters or people that can't afford it or mortgage troubles, all that sort of stuff, then yeah, potentially we're getting absolutely spammed today on Kick. I need to set up a bot, but anyways, but yeah, no, the whole conversation is, yeah, I don't know, Craig. It's an interesting step for America. It's an interesting step.
It is, and to go to your point, yeah, it's a tricky one. Like, it's kind of a tightrope, isn't it? Renting, being able to generate enough income while you rent to save up to get into a home. That's the tricky part. And people not in crypto are slowly being eroded. Obviously, the middle class is being eroded. The rich get richer, the middle class go poor, and the poor get really poor. So, yeah, I think, maybe a Bitcoin is the new owning a home. The only problem is the only downside to owning Bitcoin instead of a house is you can't live in it. If you could live in a Bitcoin, here's a clip. If you could live in a Bitcoin coin, I'd rather own Bitcoin than a house. But I don't even know what that really means. But
digital, mate. It's digital money. It's digital.
Yeah, the problem is it can't weather you from the weather. Excuse the pun. It can't, shelter you a Bitcoin. So that's the downside. But I guess, like I said, certainly the ability to borrow against it to then leverage yourself into a home and have your Bitcoin and have your cake and eat it too. That's the play. That might not come quick enough for you, and it won't. But maybe my son's generation, he's 9 now. By the time he goes to buy a home, I'm pretty sure there will be the railways in place that if you own crypto and enough of it, you'll be able to borrow at a pretty good rate, and you'll be able to have both. But the renting and owning thing's always the fight, and there's always those people that I've heard people say, rent your dream place, and then own a place that you rent out to people where you don't want to live. I don't know, though. I don't know. I like owning my home, like you said. I like the ability to paint the walls, do the garden. It's my garden, so I'm incentivized to do it. If I was renting, dude, I wouldn't care really.
But my wife's like, I want to do this. I'm like, you are wasting time and money on something that is not ours. Like, if it is ours, I am fully supporting your ambition to make it look good, and I will join you in that passion. But we do not own this. Why would you waste resources, time, money on something we do not own? And the owners of this house bought it that long ago that they don't even give a fuck. They've made that much money from it. They're in so much profit. It's not even funny. They bought it in 2006 for like 250 grand. It's probably worth like 1.3. So they're up 6x and they're getting $800 a week. Crazy. Man, crazy.
Such a good trade. Such a good trade.
Crazy. But the next trade of this generation might be on chain. So as we can see here, top fees in the past 24 hours. This is as of yesterday or today, local time. BSC, so Binance Smart Chain, BNB flipped Solana yet again in fees. So are people moving back to trade on chain over in BNB, Craig? What about your chat groups? Is anyone over there, or what's happening?
I saw a couple of BNB coins shilled recently. They sort of looked like they were coming back. I didn't know they were coming back in such a strong fashion that it would take over Solana and fees, though. So no, it's not like I've personally haven't seen a massive influx in tickers shilled from BNB, but I guess, what do you account that to? Why? I haven't seen enough. It's all Solana from my end still.
No, I don't know. Like, is there a runner? Let me have a quick look. Is there a runner over on BSC? I mean, people love to be degenerate. If you remember to 2021, BSC was the chain that everyone traded on outside of Ethereum, is what I'm trying to say. Like, if we come and have a look, we've got $7.5 billion in the last 24 hours. I mean, these are all like Chinese bloody acronyms, not acronyms, but easy. Chinese names, I don't know. Yeah, but you got like what, a couple runners here. Yeah. Oh, you got a couple that definitely hit 40 something million, but a few of these are quite old, right? So yeah, I don't know. Maybe people are trading over on BSC again rather than Solana. But I've just moved the chat on Kick to followers only because there's definitely some spam there this morning. So tidying that up. My apologies for that. All right, the next topic is the Clarity Act. Senate vote is basically in the next 3 days as well. So this is a big one. So for those that maybe do not know what this actually means, Craig's just gone to the bathroom, guys, just so you guys are aware. But if you guys don't know what this actually means, basically this is just a quick, here's a quick summary, but like a crypto rulebook aimed at killing the fake volume, wash trades, and shady reserves, right? So basically all your top exchanges, all your top chains, all these sorts of stuff, they'll have to declare their books and declare what's actually happening out there. So this is quite large. It'll allow crypto to probably progress into that world. Of obviously regulation and acceptance yet again. I think that's a big story in itself. And the Clarity Act, there's a few other acts coming as well that definitely will help push crypto towards that real world adoption. Craig used the forbidden technique. Yeah, he just dipped on me. Guys, don't forget, with ETH as well, if we do hit 16K volume by the end of the show, we'll give away cash today. So that's our target. All right, moving on to the next topic. Craig shared that one, so I'll wait till he gets back. But the next topic is obviously Monero goes pretty crazy. After obviously we saw the Zcash is what I'm trying to say. Zcash team step away, or the core development team step away. That caused price to dump. Price hasn't really recovered. If I have a quick look at the chart, yeah, price we got a little bit of a bounce, but it's very much still back in towards its golden pocket range. Yeah, so I mean, Monero, like it's up 17% today. I mean, if we have a look at this chart, like I actually thought about buying some of this yesterday, but I didn't. I should have longed it. I mean, this chart looks very healthy. If we do go back and look at this, this is a long-term sort of cup and handle, you could say, forming here. Okay, and now we've challenged it. Craig's back. All right, let's go. But yeah, Monero is up 19%. What did I say? 18%, Craig. I actually nearly bought this yesterday. It's crazy. I just didn't get around to it. Very nice cup and handle. Very nice. There's your cup and handle there. Bang, breakout. Very nice retest of the previous high, and bang. You are heading towards uncharted territory. I don't know. I haven't looked at this chart. I mean, this chart only goes back to 22. Yeah, I mean, this is, if you want privacy, this one screams number one now that Zcash obviously team stepped away and whatnot and building their own product. This is pretty crazy, Craig. We missed an obvious trade potentially now in hindsight.
No, we did. And we spoke about it last week. And I mean, the worst part is about that trade. We even spoke about it. But that's just the way it is. You can't have your eyes on everything. But that, for me, that was quite an obvious trade. Huh? I know it's easy to say now in hindsight and it's broken out and blah, blah, blah. But it was a semi-obvious trade. If you wanted a beta play to Zcash, which obviously now it's kind of flipped, right? Now that's got internal. I mean, I know that they're trying to do a bit of damage control over there, but I think anytime your whole dev team walks out, man,
it's not a good look. Not a good look.
As you know, as a business owner, how do you come out and say that's bullish? So obviously this was the secondary play to that. Great trade. GG to everyone got in that. That's an absolute ripper setup, bro. And it makes me very jealous because I have not been in a trade like that for a little while now. So
yeah.
No, well done to everyone who got in on that trade. Just the setup structurally, it's beautiful, Greeny.
It is bit like, as I just said, you have a perfect cup and handle. I looked at the chart and I was like, it's not like how I like to trade. It's not how I like to trade, just buying it there. So yeah, look, I would have liked to get it here. I wasn't looking at it down here. And that was after the Zcash. You wake up to the news. It was kind of here when I was looking at it literally yesterday or a couple of days ago. So I was like, it's not really ideal. I mean, you could have had your stop loss below here and yeah, your targeting could have been up here, but I mean, GG's if you caught it. Probably an easy reflective trade is the counter trade of news of a competitor being bearish is okay. For example, like Sui being super bearish is bullish for Solana. Zcash obviously being bearish is bullish for Monero, right? So yeah, I think this one probably, I would say this keeps on going. I think this has got a lot of room for upside. I mean, if we go off Bybit and just see what's an old exchange? Bitmart's old, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's not. Let me which exchange would have had this for a long period of time? I swear this has been around longer than 2022. Am I at to lunch, Craig, with that?
XMR.
Yeah,
I wanted to say it had. I want to say it was in 21.
Yeah, definitely. It's been around a long, long time.
I owned this for a while. Years ago.
Is BitMEX index perpetual swap? Where's like just Coinbase? Bitfinex is definitely, but these are, what is this? XMR Trust Longs. What the hell is that? Can I find XMR index? No. I don't know. No, what the hell is that?
It's a heartbeat.
Yeah. That's
I mean, that's your ECG.
That is my ECG. Bitmex, BingX, no, that's new. Weeks, they're all new. Bit for next, yeah, but like even I don't know. Anyways, pretty bullish. Pretty bullish. Maybe I have to keep scrolling a little bit lower.
Is this gonna Greenies XMR gonna pull a Zcash, man? Is it gonna just rip and rip and rip?
I generally think it is. It might not be a bad just fumble into the highs, FOMO into the highs. Yeah. Particularly if BTC, and we'll get to the charts. We're bringing you news. Trying to be more news based because I think that's what trending topics is good as well. Good to see you, Society. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube. Before we dive into more charts, great, and there is a couple more topics I've got. The NFT Paris was cancelled. Obviously NFTs are very much struggling, but arguably some of the most challenging parts of now becoming an internet personality is safety and security. We saw it in Belgium at that event. We saw it obviously in NFT Paris last year. Is it a worry going forward for crypto events?
Yeah, I think it probably is a little bit. I think as crypto people become wealthier and wealthier, they're the targets now. I guess in the old days it was celebrities break into their homes or like whatever that criminals got up to, getting blackmail stuff on them, and then getting information on people and blackmailing was probably the old way to do it. But now just grabbing simple people who are in crypto, which could be a lot of more younger people without security. I guess new money is what I'm saying. New money is probably an easy target because they don't know how to behave. They show their money off, jewelry and stuff. So I guess you got to be careful. Yeah, I saw this. I mean, I don't think that's the reason why NFT Paris was cancelled. I think it was due to lacking numbers and the market just turned to
interest. Yeah.
But certainly, I remember when it was on last year, and I was speaking to Cam, the streamer, and she actually had security booked for that event. And she said a lot of the other girls she knows do that as well, obviously for other reasons as well.
Yeah,
female.
To build on that point, we interviewed Wendy and we interviewed Betty, and both of them said they have used security at events before. Right.
So people in America now are, I think, semi-used to having security. Yeah. Is it a concern? Yeah, it is, man. I guess it is a concern. It's not great. So you've just got to be careful. How do you be careful? I don't really know, because if people know you've got money, they can come for you at any time. But I guess live events are certainly a threat because you get a whole bunch of wealthy people in a room at the same time. Yeah, not great. And that's a lot of kidnapping. I mean, how much of this is true? I don't know.
Yeah.
Certainly, I guess on the timeline, you have heard more and more about it. So I'm guessing it actually is probably becoming a real problem.
You Cruise 33, you read my mind. The next topic that I want to bring up is Render. Render's on an absolute tear today. I shared a chart shortly. I'll bring that up again. This was a bag that Aussie in our community is very bullish on. He's been holding for a long time. This is a token I've dabbled with in the past, but I've been very against altcoins this cycle, so I haven't been owning it for a while. This is a token that I know Craig did previously own. Now you do not own. Is that correct, Craig? As of this morning?
Yeah, so I sold. I was bullish on this, same as you. I think around the start of the bull run, you and me were into Render, and we had called this, and it did okay towards the start. Yeah. And I'd sold some off as we went higher.
Yeah.
And then I kept a moon bag for later, for now. And I sold on this recent pump. I sold as it hit that resistance there, and it's effing broken out. I messaged Greenie before going, I just sold my moon bag and now it's going to pump. So I got out of it last week. Actually, I went through all my old wallets and I found I knew it was there, but I had a little bag of Render left. And it was one of those situations where the amount I had in there wasn't much, and I was actually sick of looking at it. So it's one of those moments where you go, I'm sick of looking at this chart.
Yeah.
And I sold, and everyone else in the room can thank me now, because now I can run. So I was probably holding it back. Sorry, guys, I've sold now. So now let it go to all-time high and let me cope. But no, I did sell on the pumps, and I had a little moon bag. I sold it. I kept the moon bag for this exact moment. and I sold just too soon, but that's okay. It was very little money, but great to see. Funny how when I sold, about 2 days after I sold, I started seeing charts come out going, Brenda's breaking out. I was like, you son of a whatever, like every time.
If you think about tech in crypto, this is arguably one of the most bullish opportunities, and it goes back to the same conversation before about Link. Like, you can have the most bullish tech be some of the most innovative technology we've ever seen in blockchain capacity and on the blockchain. But does that necessarily mean that your token should have value? And does that necessarily mean that your token should go up? That is a question we have to ask today. People are going to speculate. Maybe if they're bullish on the tech, they're going to buy the token. That makes a lot of sense. That's probably why we would buy the token. Yeah. I look at the TA of this chart, and if Bitcoin can get a move up towards that 98K, 96K, I do think alts can probably have a bit of a rally. And I do see Render, if it can break out here, move up. But I mean, like, look at this, like the dispersed launch, AI compute, BME tokenomics revealed, network manager upgrade. Yeah, so they're still building. They've been around a long time, but I mean, the chart looks pretty good. I mean, if we do look here, I would expect maybe this is a resistance here, but we have to wait and see what happens. There is room maybe on the monthly, but at least on the lower weekly charts, it might break out higher here. But yeah, I mean, this probably does look pretty good to head back towards higher ranges here, and my fibs are just basically from this high to this current low, ignoring the wick of price action, because that wasn't organic, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, like, a move back to just the 382, Craig, is a 2.3x move. So yeah, this is one I might have to keep on my radar. I mean, we'll talk about Bitcoin shortly. We got one more. Oh, we got one more, which Levi sent through, but Trove. Did you see any about this on the timeline, Craig? I've personally been avoiding ICOs. No. But Trove is, if I pull it up here, it's a website, it's a marketplace where you can trade collectibles, RWAs, equities with up to 10x leverage. Public beta is now live. A few people I obviously connect with on Twitter do follow this page. The ICO was live as of 3 days ago. So basically, as the weekend started for us, if we click into this, it looks as though it sold out pretty quickly. So it was $2.5 million raise. The date was between the 8th and the 11th. And yeah, I think it absolutely cooked. And it looks like a few people, yeah, first hour and almost filled. That's pretty crazy. Placed the prediction on Polymarket that this will hit 10 million raise. So oversubscribed potentially, I've seen. Have you seen anything about this at all? So FTV is 20 mil. That's pretty low. That's probably a fair representation of where the market is. I would much rather see companies go on the low side and perform really well when they launch, rather than go the high side trying to, like, the Solstice one I was a little worried about when they tried to raise it. Can't remember what it was, but it was like 130 mil. I think I was like, oh, that's very aggressive. And it didn't do very well. Same as the Infinex raise last week. It obviously, that was a different story. The branding, the optics of the business, probably not as good as it should have been, potentially, the marketing side. But yeah, I don't mind seeing this. This is probably a healthy thing for crypto. I think this is where we would like to see more airdrops, more obviously TGEs, more ICOs coming out at the lower side. Like, that's the opportunity there. Like, don't try and steal money out the gate. Reward the people who get in early or who support you early. I think that's the upside there, Craig. Thoughts?
Yeah, no, I didn't actually see this. It wasn't on my radar. Has it sold out now? Is it filled?
I don't know. Okay. I would assume so. I mean, I think it closed the 11th. Yeah, so it did close. So I assume it did oversubscribe. Yeah.
Okay, great. No, like you said, good for the market to have something like this actually fill and close. And like you said, low valuation might give good upside. If there's good upside, people are going to make profit. If they make profit, the liquidity will pour into other things we own. So regardless of whether you're in this or not, hopefully it goes well, because then the money can flow to some of our favorite alts and memes, hopefully. And you just get a bit of positivity on the timeline as well would be nice, apart from maybe White Whale and more recently Render. There probably haven't been a lot of people making good money. So look, I'm all for anything in crypto doing well. This is great to see. Hopefully other companies can take note of how this was done, start at low valuations and let average punters like you and me make some money, because it's kind of people like, not just you and me, and it's our viewers as well. We're the guys who will put our money on the line right at the end, right? it would be nice to see a few little guys make some money. So hopefully this goes really well. I see a few big names commenting. So
I know I've just read about it though, but apparently there's a bit of and as always, there's always a story. There's always a story. So apparently there is a bit of a scam. It was running smoothly. By the end, a little over 11 million was raised. By 5 minutes before the sale ended, things got interesting. The Trove team changed the deposits acceptance date in the contract, setting it to January 20. That immediately raised red flags for me. And without thinking, I started buying shares on Polymarket. At the time, huge buy orders came in, blah, blah, blah. 15 minutes later, a post appeared on X saying that they were extending the token sale by 5 days. Never happened before, and here we go again. In the end, those who decided at the last moment to earn a $10 to $50 fee got massively wrecked. 1D Gen, this is obviously on Polymarket, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting, Craig. This is what I mean. Like, it looks really good from the outside, but then you go dive in, and yeah, it looks like there's manipulation yet again. This is, we spoke about Polymarket last week. Like, this is the thing with, like, you can't just like launch something these days or change something as a team. You've got people bloody gambling on what's happening.
It's amazing, isn't it? And then obviously complaining when things change, which is, I don't know if it's Trove sale ending. Yeah, I don't know. I don't get.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty. Yeah, so the Trove extended the ICO just minutes before it's supposed to end. Someone placed a super suspicious bets on total commitments while no one was really aware of what was happening. Team posted pathetic. We made mistake tweet. Oh shit! There it is. Killed the market. It's just disgusting. How they utilize power. I believe all calls are shilling it now, as well as the team should stand up, put a public statement, stop pretending nothing happened. Dude, crypto 101 right there.
I mean, I don't know who's being dodgy there, but it sounds like what they're saying is that the team might have gone and made bets on Polymarket, made a bit of money on the side with insider stuff.
Why bother? Like,
it's bad optics, eh?
Why are so many people greedy in this industry? It's wild to me. I just don't get it.
It makes you think as well, if they were what would concern me is if they were so confident as a company on their product, they wouldn't go and do little sneaky things like that on the side. So for me, it kind of breaks down trust or in the company, because you're like, man, are you guys really sure this is going to work out? Because it looks like you're kind of looking to get a few extra pennies somewhere else. I don't know, man. It's not good optics. Once again, crypto's amazing, isn't it?
Our industry, sometimes I look at it, Craig, and it's an absolute joke.
But it's interesting. It's interesting.
You know what's not a joke? Technical analysis and price action charts. They don't joke. They show you everything. Anyways, let's look at Bitcoin. We spoke about Randall just before. Bitcoin, again, not much is happening. If we do dive in on lower time frames, weekly still very much bottom tier. We are above the pivot. A lot of people wanted to see the weekly hold. We get a weekly close in 3 minutes, Craig. So this is pretty bullish. I'm not going to lie. The fact that we are closing above the weekly support resistance line here, which is basically 90.4. I'm greedy for a sweep or a move down here. Let me turn off my magnet. I want to move down here. Like, give me a move down here. Weekly order block. You've got value, point of control. You've got also value area low. You've got support from this lows as well on lower time frames. Dude, I would love that. I think a lot of people would love that, but I think we might not get that, and we might be starting to move up soon. But again, we got volatility inbound this week. The 3-day looks pretty good here as well, which we closed Wednesday last week. No, sorry. This is a 3-day. So the 3-day close is tomorrow. Also holding that weekly support resistance line. Again, this is a video I did on YouTube. It got 50 views, bro. I told everyone this is an important line. But no one wants to watch that shit. So I need to think about clickbait titles and clickbait bloody thumbnails these days, Craig. I hate doing that stuff. I hate doing it. Daily looks pretty good as well, Craig. So we're right at the value area high, which is, again, just where prices traded as a support resistance. But we're holding that weekly level. So all time frames look right. However, the daily just needs a little bit more room here, probably for me to get really bullish, for me to really be keen for a long. But yeah, I don't know. It's good to see. It's good to see that you're holding this level. Otherwise, we definitely come back down to 86 to 88 if we can't hold this level. But are we about to shit the bed? Where is my chart with Mondays? Okay, this is what normally happens on a Monday, Craig. We usually get some absolute, I don't know why their sizes are different, but let's make it. yesterday when I created this, they were all literally the same size. So I don't know what the hell has happened to TradingView overnight. But anyways, there we go. Now I can edit a few of them. Excuse me. It is pouring
Mondays
out.
are historically
Oh
poor.
my God. Yeah, Mondays have, okay, whatever. You get the point. Mondays have historically been quite bearish. Okay, even though here, well, let's go down to a lower time frame so you can see. But usually Mondays, we do have a sell-off, right? Or we wick up and we sell off immediately, okay? We wick up, sell off, and then we maybe pump later in the week or dump further. We had a buy where we dipped on a Monday. And again, this is going back to the 17th of November. So this is nearly 2 months of price action within this range. This is a range. This is a very much a range. The question being is, if we get up into this vicinity and we have a distribution above this range, take out some of this liquidity over the side, that is arguably very bearish because usually price trades back towards the bottom of the range. If that is the case, unless we have strength right above the range and we go crazy and we get back up sort of to these sort of levels, right? Then inevitably, yeah, that's just a PO3 the trade setup that is just great to short back towards the bottom of the range. So anyways, Mondays though, we do see a bit of a sell-off usually. Okay, Monday went bang crazy after that one. So I don't know. We haven't really seen a big pump today though, Craig. That's the query. That is a query. I mean, it is early Monday for us. It is Monday. So it's usually this time tomorrow we usually see by this time tomorrow we usually see the event take place.
Gotcha.
So something to be aware of.
Yeah, it'd be nice if I went against the trend here. Like you said, looks pretty good on all time frames. I mean, like you said, there's a lot of people waiting to see if it sweeps the lows. I would absolutely love it if it didn't give anyone that opportunity and it just sent from here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that aren't in want it to go lower. People that are in don't want to see lower. I don't really mind. No, actually, I do mind. I prefer just up now, thanks. Whether, like you said, whether it can break through that sort of 98, 96, 98 to 100 that's what I'm still watching for. Same things last week. The move up, I'm just curious to see what it does, how much strength comes in, or if in other words, if it's a low volume breakout, I'm expecting that lower high to form and us to go to mortal, really. So I'm excited. Like you said, it structurally looks okay, man.
Well, the weekly pivot.
Have we finally suffered enough, everyone? Have we finally suffered enough? Because the range has been so boring. Man.
We have CPI Wednesday or Tuesday. I can't remember specifically.
I think this week's got a lot of stuff.
That's the pivotal event this week, the volatility event this week to be aware of, is what is price going to do after that event or leading into that event. But yeah, anyways, weekly pivot is now 87. So that gives us a lot more room to move down this week and to wick back up by the close next week for a push higher. That actually makes me bullish for, again, staying patient. Hopefully we get a pullback lower. And then, yeah, maybe I get my longs. I do have some limit orders down here actually ready to roll. So I don't know. It's an interesting time in the market. I mean, the longer we go sideways, does that make you more bullish or more bearish the longer we spend time at this sort of vicinity? Like if we look at last cycle, Craig, if we zoom out, go to the 3-day, close this, so it's a bit tighter here. After we had that first sort of move down, we consolidated at this level. Where's my time? We consolidated at this level for before we broke down there? 105 days. 105 days we spent here. So that's like 3.5 months. Mm-hmm. Right now, if we have a look at where price is right now and we pull it up, okay, we are currently spent. I would say, did I go from the low of that candle? Yeah, we'll go from the breakdown. We'll go from here. Right now we have spent 53 days. So we have only spent half of the amount of time we spent in 2021 in that bear flag, lower high, complacency bounce, whatever you want to call it, period. So arguably we could go all the way to March before we actually, and this could change. This could be like up here, like we could trade up towards 97, 98, like tap some of these, like FEG up here. Like, I don't know, Craig, what are your thoughts? Like the longer we go sideways, is that more bullish or is that more bearish, or it doesn't actually matter because the trend is eventually, like on higher time frames, I think the trend is very much bearish. On lower time frames, I'm kind of a bull pushing up to this vicinity and then macro lower high continuing down.
Exactly what you just said at the end there.
Why?
Although you ask an interesting question, is it bullish the longer we sit? I actually think it is bullish the longer we sit here. The fact I think we haven't seen another big dump and we've just kind of been cooking at this level, I quite like it. I think certainly in the short term, it gives me hope, and it makes me think we'll see a push to the upside, which you and me have been calling for so long. So I think what we predicted will happen is currently happening, and it looks like it's going to continue to happen. So I think the thesis is right. I think the longer we crab sideways, the better chance we have at a relief bounce, which is what we're seeing now. And it sounds like we might have another month or two in it to ride it out. So I've got my finger on the trigger, dude. So when we tap 100, bro, see a 20% Bitcoin.
It would be so bad if we only got to 98, Craig. It would.
I know. And I'm very open to that. And that's why I'll probably sell 30% at 100. Maybe, probably 30%. I should probably sell more there, but greed's probably gonna, maybe I need to sell more, maybe 50% of that, because I'm not convinced yet that we break above 100. And if we do we get much higher?
No, I don't think we do.
Concern.
I think
it's volume.
There's a world I see us getting to even 107, 110-ish.
That's my dream.
There's also a world where I see us getting to 96, 98 as well. So Pricey makes a good point here. I'm just going to stop sharing so it doesn't cover Craig's face when I pull up the comment. We also have the Market Clarity Act on Thursday, which we spoke about as well, Friday for us here in Australia. And the threat of the US government shutdown at the end of the month looms, along with US FOMC at the end of the month. There's a lot, again, January is historically more volatile than December because a lot of people come back to the markets, but February is actually pretty historically bullish for crypto. So are those events, though, are they bullish, or are they just volatile events? And one way or another, it's going to be, price action is going to be volatile to the upside or to the downside.
Yeah. I'm going to say I think price is going to do what price is going to do. I think the news will create volatility short term unless the news is fundamentally very bullish or bearish. What I mean by that, I just mean like a real world devastating headline or very bullish headline, like we're abolishing tax on crypto or something, something that is actually happening, not talking about it happening. They actually have to do something, like rather than we might, we may, we're looking to in the future. That stuff's not going to do it. I just think the news will accelerate market movements a little bit. I think we're just going to have volatility in January, like you said. This week's actually a humdinger news-wise. So get ready, people, strap in. We might see some crazy stuff happen in between. Probably a good time for those traders in GTG who are locked in on high time frames, bro. Like the scalpers in there are going to have a field day this week, I reckon, or could do. For me, myself, in spot, I don't think it will affect it that greatly, not to the point where I've got to buy or sell right now. I'm not rushing to buy because the Clarity Act's, coming this week. I just think lower high, 98 to 100, 107. If God, if you love me, you'll give me that. But no, I like the news articles. I think the ones that are coming, like the Clarity Act and all that, I think that's great. Long term, I just think price is going to price regardless of those news articles, except people will use the news articles to justify the price movement rather than just watching the chart, which is why I tend to buy and sell now. And I know you do, Greenie, on the chart rather than news. Back in 21, I was buying news and selling news a little bit, whereas now I use the news more for entertainment purposes now, probably. It's like reading Women's Day at the front cover and seeing who's breaking up with who and who's divorcing who these days. It doesn't affect your life. It creates no value in your life, but for whatever reason, you can't help yourself. Same thing here. A little bit more because there's money involved now. I love crypto, dude. There's just, every day we come on, there's just quite a lot to talk about, eh? It's like, it never ends. It's amazing.
No, that's what I mean. Like we went 50 minutes there of news trending articles, and that's one day. Like it's crazy,
insane, right? And that's over the weekend.
Yeah. So guys, if you enjoy the show, smash a follow, smash a subscribe if you're watching on YouTube as well. And if you want to support the content on Kick, you can subscribe as well. It doesn't cost much. I think it's like a coffee a month or something to subscribe to the channel, and it goes a long way. We very much appreciate it. Great show. I think we'll cut it there. Lots of news events. If you want to watch it back, you can obviously on YouTube or Kick or actually X. We're live on X. Go follow us on X. Market Makes MKT Mates. Very simple. Same username across the board. Guys, I've checked the Yeet page and we didn't hit 16K volume. So no giveaway today. We're at 13.3. Okay. So Probably same goal tomorrow on Tuesday's show. 16K volume. So it's only about 2.5K. So we can probably get there, guys. We could probably get there.
I think we can hit it, guys. And I see on our X, we're almost at 1,500 followers. So almost at 2,000. So give us a follow on X, guys. Let's get that cranking, because obviously it helps Greenie and I get out there, grow the brand. And also, consequently, it helps us give away cooler stuff. So it does actually help everyone if you go and give this a follow, guys. Obviously, our partners do check things like this. So if we can get this really pumping and really lively, there'll be better and bigger prizes to give away. So help us help you, help us help you, I guess is what I'm saying. But give us a follow on Kick. And no, great show, Greenie. We didn't even check that many charts. It's actually a good day in crypto when we can talk about different things. But other than that, Greenie, that's probably the main thing. So I'll probably just give a shout out to our partners and sponsors. Obviously, Yeet, massive shout out to you guys. Like Greenie said, we'll look to give away a bit of money if we can hit a bit more volume. And obviously, again, OKX. Great to have you guys on board. If you guys are looking to trade a bit of spot, go give them a whirl. Check them out. World Safest Exchange Stage platform, and they're giving away $75 of Bitcoin if you do a bit of trading there. Other than that, Greenie, have a great day. We'll keep working on this brand, get this business cranking, and hopefully Bitcoin sends. By the time we jump on tomorrow, it's at 107, man. And closing above.
I don't think that'll happen, but great stream. As always, thanks for tuning in, chat. Have a lovely Sunday night if you're in America, and have a lovely Monday if you're over this side of the world in Australia. And guys, we'll see you live again same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard or 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard. We've got Bren Trades, who is doing his own streams as well. He's undocked, so he'll join us, but it'll be cool to have another trader on, and we can talk about what he's thinking about. He's arguably more bullish than me. I don't know if Craig is that bullish, but it'll be good to have a conversation with him tomorrow.
Yeah, no, great. That'll be a great show, guys. Make sure you tune in for Bren, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow.